Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, friends and neighbors, and everybody in between.
It is 8:30 in Vienna, which means it's time for
It should be about something. That's right.
Yes, today is the 15th or 16th of June.
Sure.
And
It's episode 69. A super sexy special episode. 69.
69.
Oh, yeah.
So as usual, Isbaz comes to you in parts.
But before we get to any of that, we would invite you all to join us on the sexiest chat this side of the interweb highways.
It's a naked chat. It's the only naked chat on the internet.
You can,
certified nudity.
You can be nude under all your clothes. Just do you.
In fact, most people are nude under all their clothes.
Underneath all of our clothes, we're all nude.
That's how we roll.
And when you get on the chat, let us know how your super sexy week was last week. And while you're doing that, Michael and I are going to catch ourselves up on...
Update on the sexiness of our week.
Oh, so sexy. So, Michael, how was your sexy week?
It was super sexy.
Yeah?
It was super sexy.
I haven't dared to look at the monitor yet to see how ridiculous this looks.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, okay, there it is.
The sexiness of my week.
Yeah, how was the sexiness of your week?
I think the sexiest part of my week basically is the look I get from my kids when I touch their genitals. That's kind of the sexiest part of my week. It's like
There's somebody out there in YouTube land right now going, "Oh yeah, jeez."
Yeah.
Oh,
And both of our faces going, you know, I'm like, there's poop on them. And they're going, yeah, well, you know, I've got a diaper on. I can't aim that stuff anywhere. It just goes on everything.
Look, man.
And we're both like, well, you know, we've got to get through this. And they're like, well, just don't look at me while you do it. Don't mention my name while you do it. Let's just be strangers while you touch my genitals and scoop the poop off them.
I like it. You know, yeah. I got a chance today to see the twins and Augie was looking like, you know, this is what he's going to look like when he's 68. He had such old man face today. It was amazing.
I hope for him that he's not going to be as fat when he's 68. I'd like for him to be sleeker. A little bit more muscle tone as well. And he's got there's a lot of thigh there, but there's not a lot of muscle underneath the skin.
He's starting to get those like rubber bands around the joints, you know, where everything else is all puffed up with baby juice and fat. It's very cute. Yeah, I hear you. It's a tough week. It's a tough week for you.
Yeah.
It's a tough.
Yeah.
It's a tough week.
What about your week?
Well, let me tell you, I had a pretty sexy week too. My mom has been visiting, so you know it's going to be.
But your mom has not been staying at your place.
No.
Yeah.
She.
Very, very astute on your part and hers.
Yes.
That she got a hotel. I hope she found a reasonably priced hotel.
She found a wonderful hotel. Shout out to Stannis Hotel, Stannis Apartment Hotels, on the Marie Hilferstrasse.
Outer or inner?
On the outer, yeah. And so it's quite close to where I live.
It's like walking distance.
Absolutely. And the apartment's great. It's got a little kitchen, you know. And so for the 10 days, big, really comfortable bed. And,
Sweet. And the price is not exorbitant.
The price is not exorbitant also for a 10-day stay.
Yeah. Cool. Good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, nice to know that you can still have people come and visit and it not cost the earth.
That's right. And it's been fantastic. Having my mom visiting has been really terrific. She was our special guest
last week when we were at the Ed Sullivan Theatre.
Last week,
if you missed last week's show, you have to go back and watch. I mean, Ed Sullivan Theatre.
It was amazing.
It looked exactly the way it looks now, but we flew your mom to New York ourselves.
That's right. We had space for 500 people, but with COVID regulations.
Because of the COVID regulations, we could only have his mom in. But it was a great show.
It was super fun. Best is best ever.
I think so.
And in the between time, we have gone on a couple of adventures. We went to the Belvedere, which is a beautiful palace.
You're not the first slurping here?
Slurping. Hey, let's have a slurp, peeps.
Yeah. Get your slurp on.
It's a sexy slurp.
You will see I'm drinking pink gin today.
Yeah. Michael's got the sexy drink.
Sexy
drink.
So you went to the Belvedere.
We went to the Belvedere,
which is the basically the Museum of Modern Art, or not so modern art. It was like kind of what used to be modern. Oh, no, they got the whole Hieronymus Bosch thing down at the bottom, and then they've got like the early 20th century at the top.
No.
Nope.
So the Upper Belvedere has been a museum for a very long time. That's true, but it houses mostly portraiture, a lot of Klimt, a lot of Schiele is permanently on display there.
It's like early 20th.
Early 20th century. Yeah. Turn of the century, early 20th century, and. The lower has different exhibits.
Max Beckmann.
Max Beckmann. Yeah, you'll see some Beckmann there. And that was fantastic. And then we went to the Alte Donau, which is a beautiful body of water right in Vienna. And we rented one of those MyInsel. So it's a platform, it's like a little island, it's got a sofa on it, it's got a shell.
Yeah, it looks like a tee-off, like a golf tee-off thing,
Yeah.
Floating on water.
Yeah. It's got a palm tree, a really nice platform. It's got a table on it, some chairs, and
AstroTurf.
a joystick that you use to cruise around on. Wherever you point the joystick, that's where you go.
Yeah.
And so we just cruised around on the Alta Donau, and it was fantastic. The weather was
You're
beautiful.
definitely working on that tan. It's like
Yeah,
you,
man.
You are way more tan than I am. I mean, look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, that's true.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's
Usually
ridiculous.
I'm way more pale than you.
Yeah.
And,
I've not been in the sun
yeah, that's true.
because my children are vampires. Every time I take them near the window, they're like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Take me back in the shade. Take me back in the shadows.
Yeah, take me back to the shadows. The sexy shadows.
Put me back in my coffin."
Anyway, that's how the week has gone with that.
Nice.
And
So
that's
not so
been
sexy actually, but kind of sexy-ish.
sexy-ish. Yeah, mom sexy.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the chat and see who's here and say hello to everybody. Marcus is in the house. Good evening.
Marcus hasn't been in for a while.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks.
Marcus came along on our trip to the Alta Donau.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And on the evening before, he was so kind and took us up to the Kahlenberg, which is the mountain up above on the outskirts of Vienna. And we got to look down onto the city. So we went from the top to the bottom of Vienna.
Did he take Donna up on the
20
motorbike?
Not on the motorbike, no. Donna would not be into that. That would not be her thing. Monica's in the house. Hey, Moko. Follower of Clay. Hello.
Andrea as FOC. FOC's taking
excellent.
a bath.
Excellent.
Splish splash.
Ooh, sexy. 69
sexy.
splish splash. Well, Andrea, I'm glad we have you alone now because speaking of my mom, she has been eating all of that jam. Just every day, her breakfast has been 2 pieces of thick toast with
Buttered on both
marmalade.
sides with marmalade on both
Oh,
sides.
unbelievable.
Nice.
And she has been in hog heaven. So
Lady knows
thank
how to
you.
enjoy.
Thank you very much for that. It should be about shirts.
It should be about chest hair.
It should. Yeah. There's none of that happening. It should be about shirts.
So Monica, you're sipping a
Yes.
grasshopper. I take it that's a cocktail. Is it a cocktail you make yourself? Is it your own styly cocktail?
Yeah. Let us know what a grasshopper is.
Yeah, we want to know what goes in there.
Second week of vacay, says Marcus. Actually, just chilling and finishing small projects. His terrace is coming along very
I
well.
haven't been to Marcus's new digs.
Yeah, well, he's been working on it. It's been going for months, and but he's done a great job with it. The inside is now finished. The outside is pretty much done.
Cool.
He's got this amazing outdoor space, and it's kind of like a ship. It's like kind of long and flat, but it's got all the places that you need, and then this big, beautiful deck.
Nice.
Yeah, it's great.
Need to get a sail up on there.
Yeah, well, that's all. You can talk to him about that. And who else is here? Pavlov's dog. Hello.
Yeah, Pavlov, you just said hi last week, and then you had to go somewhere. Can't remember where, but nice to have you in.
Yeah. So we are heading in right now to episode 69. 69.
Been trying to get to episode 69 for weeks, but it's a hard place to find.
Hard place to find.
Episode 69 is the G spot of shows. You can look for it.
Okay, do you
You
remember?
gotta delve deep and find
Do you
it.
remember? You, me, and Jacob were on tour down to Villach to perform, and we decided to take a little side adventure to go to the largest wooden structure
Oh, yes.
in Austria or in Europe at the time. I don't know. It's a
I think
big,
it's like a 170-meter high tower.
right, and they stuck this 170-meter high wooden tower on the top of this mountain, and we start to climb with the car. We're in the car, and we're going up this mountain. This is like the switchbackiest mountain trail ever. You'd go up and then you go back down again and you come back up again. And at some point we got onto the idea that this road was like the female orgasm. You know, it's never just a straight line. You you kind of have to kind of go this way and find the right cracks and crevices,
like,
and then
it would take you up.
And you think, we're gonna get there.
And you can see the tower.
We're there. We're there. No. We gotta come back around. We're gonna have some more. No. There's a lot more adventure here, young man. No, we're not getting there yet.
I remember.
So funny. And then
when we got there was this huge parking space, this huge parking area. And it's like, where do we park? Because you can see the tower. It's like, you want to go to the tower? No, you got to look for a parking.
Yeah. You gotta kind of go around the outside of it first. Or it's kind of like throwing a hot dog down the hallway. Monica's grasshopper cocktail, just by the by.
Crème de
menthe. White crème de cacao and heavy cream.
Dang.
So it's like an after 8. It's like mint and chocolate.
It's
And it sounds very thick and rich.
It's the kind of thing you want to slap from somebody's belly button.
Slap? Did you say slap?
Slap.
You just got factoided.
I hit the wrong one. You did not get factoided. It was a slap.
Sounds like the Pink Panther.
No, there was that commercial about the beer. Wie es in meinen Bauchnabel kribbelt.
Raschhofer kribbelt in meine Bauchnabel.
Es kribbelt so in meine Bauchnabel. I can't remember what beer it was. Andrew's in the house.
Raschhofer.
Raschhofer
beer. Raschhofer.
Was it Raschhofer?
It was Raschhofer.
Raschhofer. Es prickelt in meinen Bauchnabel.
So, Mr. Perkins, hello.
We're going to move on to this very special episode. It's episode 69, as aforementioned, the sexiest of sexy episodes. And normally it should be about something comes to you in 3 parts. We call those chapters. But tonight, there are no chapters. We don't know where it's going to begin and where it's going to end.
Tonight it's going to be like the female orgasm.
We might feel like it's getting to the end, and nope, we got a lot more to go. Yeah. Tonight,
we might not get done. We might not get there.
We might not even finish.
You might have to finish yourselves off.
Yeah, you might have to. We might be already asleep, and you're just going to have to get the job done yourself.
That's right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
You never know.
Yeah, I'm just going for it.
Episode 69, a super special sexy insertion. That's right, no chapters tonight, just super special sexy
69
insertions.
chapters.
69 chapters?
Or 96.
Jesus Christ. Is that when you were having sex, but then you got pissed off at each other and just turned around?
Yes. 69 is a foreplay for angry bed positions.
Yeah. I'm gonna sleep down by your feet.
It's chauffeur offer. Not
Chauffeur
offer.
Chauffeur offer.
Yeah. Is there alcohol in Klaus Thaler? Does we've been there actually before. Does non-alcoholic booze count as a slurp?
Yeah.
We're not going there again. At least not today, because today is number 69.
That's right. And we've got all kinds of special, super sexy insertion.
Does it actually count as going down on each other? Because
yeah,
does it?
Yeah. Well,
like what if one of you's standing?
It's
still a 69.
And the other one's inverted.
Yeah.
And you're just holding tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's still 69.
But it's not going down.
No, not really, not in that sense. I personally would use the term going down one on the other, not both on both.
Yeah, I'm with you on that terminology. Use of the terminology. Yeah.
Okay, because it's going to be important that we get our vocabulary together here tonight, folks. That's the important thing that's happening.
Klaus Thaler definitely doesn't sound sexy. I think anything that starts with Klaus doesn't actually sound very sexy. Unlike chauffeur.
Chauffeur in mein Bauchnabel. So super sexy insertions. What we're going to do is we're just going to insert ideas into this show and talk about how sexy they all are.
We're going to see whether the ideas that we have fill out the show.
Yeah. Which,
No pun intended.
I think all puns should just be intended.
And that would just be our go-to situation.
Yeah. Just extra style points tonight for the double entendre.
Okay, good. Black Butte Porter, not a sexy beer despite the name.
Black Butte Porter. Sounds like a cowboy from the 19th century. And then walked into the bar, the biggest man I'd ever seen. Somebody called him Black Butte Porter.
He shot people and called him Black Butt Porter.
He lived up on Black Butte. You'd think people would learn, but they never did. Yeah, Black Butte Porter.
Nice.
So, what is going to be our first sexy insertion?
Yeah, I don't know. How about something on this?
All right,
on this.
here it goes. We're gonna go to sexy insertion.
Whoa! I like the way you did that. Just nailing it.
See how I fingered that insertion right there?
Fingered that insertion.
Yeah. So our first super sexy insertion tonight is going to be the question of things that are not supposed to be sexy, but are.
Yes.
What's something that's not supposed to be sexy,
Well,
but
I
is?
always find that watching somebody changing the a show window is sexy because it's an extremely voyeuristic thing.
Right.
They're in
right,
the display.
Right. And
they've usually taken their shoes off so as they don't damage the display.
Right.
But they're on display the whole time that they're doing it.
Right. I hear you.
So it's like you're watching. It's like you're watching somebody in one of those little rooms in Amsterdam.
Yeah. I hear you. I have the same thing with young women, or just women in general. Could be men. Never noticed a man doing it. But working in garden shops, flower shops. Mm-hmm. Just the lady working on the garden or snipping flowers or arranging flowers.
So florist shops.
Florist shops. Yeah.
Not
not like gardens. Not like garden centers.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. But there's something about florists actually. I've always found that florists are they're kind of hippie.
Yeah.
So the amount of side boob that you get to see in florist shops is
It's pretty good.
On the side
Yeah.
boob meter florist shops are a good place to go.
Are we really low tonight? I feel like my head's getting cut off way more than usual.
Maybe you're just more erect than usually.
Oh, style points.
Shall we move the camera?
No, I'll just bend down like this. This is fine. I like this.
I'm not gonna touch
Nobody
it.
gives a shit.
The computer already fell on the floor once today.
Nobody
so
cares.
Let's not do that. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
We're just getting in. We're just gonna could even tighten that shot.
Yeah. So things that shouldn't be sexy but are.
Yeah.
Okay. I got another thing that shouldn't be sexy but is.
Yeah.
Is when you're a kid.
Yeah.
And your mom's friends come to visit, or your mom's cousins come to visit, like your kind of aunties come to visit.
Right.
The ones that are younger than your mom.
Right.
That's. Oh yes, and then they kind of pick you up and put you on
And dote all over you.
dote all over
Yeah.
and smooch, and they smell good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's similar but different. It's that first time you get that same but different thing. Yeah, I hear you. I think
and they don't know the impression that they're making on you,
Sure.
because they've got dressed up to come and visit.
Sure.
So there's someone in the house who's female, who's not your mom, who's dressed up and is like touching you,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
This is
holding you really
fantastic.
close to your. It's really good.
That's really good. Animals in the jungle can sometimes, like watching a big cat, hunt or just
Right.
make its way through the jungle. Not supposed to be sexy, but it's pretty sexy.
Yeah, because
sometimes.
it has that sleek, muscular sensuality to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about anacondas? Watching anacondas in the jungle, is that about as sexy as watching cats?
Yeah, maybe it could be. It could be.
What about turtles?
Not anaconda. What? Turtles. I don't think I've ever met an unsexy turtle.
Canada geese?
I have. Oh, those guys. Are you kidding me? Hot. They're really vocal about it too. Hot, hot. That's just
They'll really get in your face.
that unabashedness.
Yeah.
I just find
Yeah.
really attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. They'll just go there. Just like, I want to mess with your shit.
Right.
And I mess with it now.
Right. Sometimes something else that isn't supposed to be sexy but is material.
Oh, yes, like Saturn.
Yeah, sometimes it can be good material, sometimes it's cheap material, but just the touchies,
Yes.
where, or I suppose, like when it's used in fashion, it's supposed to be sexy, and is sexy.
Yes, but when it's a napkin in a restaurant,
right.
it's not intended to be sexy.
Right,
You
right,
just
right.
You can't stop touching it to your top lip because it's so smooth.
Yeah, or whatever it is. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, even I think even other materials like metal can feel that way. When it's been like really smoothly, or okay. Here's another one. When you have an object that happens to just fit inside of another object, like it just.
Like a babushka.
Yeah, but it's like two unrelated things. It's like it's like your bottle cap just happens to fit
Yes.
in the
Snugly.
routed out hole on the picnic table where the lug nut has gone
And
inside.
then it does that wafty air type thing.
Yeah.
Fits in there.
That's kind of sexy.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Pavlov just Googled sexy beer names and you shouldn't have.
Oh please, what are some of those terrible sexy
Dang.
beer names?
I think you need to copy paste some of that stuff.
Yeah, copy paste some of that in the chat.
Things that aren't sexy but what things that aren't
Things
sexy,
that are not supposed to be sexy but are. Moko says feet. But
Yeah.
people still find them sexy. I hear what you're saying.
I have a total foot fetish.
Michael loves feet. And the thing is, I hear you, there's a lot of people that have hate on feet, but my theory is it's part of the human body, so it's gonna be sexy.
Well, it's going to be sexy if
It's part of the package.
it's part of the package, but it's only going to be sexy if it is well kept. It's like the hair,
anything.
like the hair or the hands or the mouth or the
Sure.
teeth or
Yeah.
whatever part you're looking at. If it's if it's full of calluses and dry skin, it ain't going to be sexy.
No, of course not.
So yeah.
Nobody wants that.
I guess lots of people don't find feet sexy because so many people have kind of
Terrible feet.
Terrible feet.
Yeah, a lot of people are embarrassed about their own feet. And so, and then don't find other people's feet.
people's feet
And I think, I wonder if it has something to do with like childhood. Like if your parents had good feet, you don't mind them. Or if they had, terrible, scary corn Tostito toenails, corn chip toenails or,
Yes.
or calluses. Like who was I talking to recently that had a callus knife? Like a knife for slicing off the calluses on their feet.
Not me.
I don't know who the heck I was talking to about that. But the image was just like, seriously, they got that
You
bad
need a
that
knife.
you
You
need
need
a
a knife.
knife to slice them off?
Nice,
It's
yeah.
like having a poop knife. Everyone's got a poop knife.
What's a poop knife?
We'll talk about it later.
I think I might not want to know, but I think I already do.
Yeah, so those are some good examples of it. What do you think? I like this. I'm not sure what's on about
Unexpected
Andrew
down.
and
Dodging them
them.
in the helicopter is not fun.
Village Idiot Brewing Company, thong remover, Belgian triple.
Village Idiot Brewing Company thong remover.
Thong remover.
Dang.
I did make a cocktail when we were on vacation one time that everyone called the panty dropper. It wasn't my name.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a
tramp
big
stamp. Well, okay.
Yeah, they're all kind of
Wow.
sexist, right?
is kinda
I mean,
kinda
Bombshell
sexist, yeah.
Blonde is not that bad. I mean, that's kind of because it's a
thong remover is
blonde.
great. Well, hang on. Have you never worn a thong?
I know. Again, Michael's a big fan of the thong. I was never a thong guy. I never wore a thong.
How do you know that I'm a big fan of the thong for men?
I'm just assuming
You're just
things
assuming.
sometimes.
No, I'm not a huge fan of the thong at all.
But I know you did wear one at one point.
I've worn thongs, yes, but it's
It's not your thing.
It's not my
I thought
thing.
you went through a thong phase.
Oh no.
No, you never went through a thong phase.
No.
Okay.
No.
But you have worn them.
I've worn thongs, yes.
Yeah.
But I find them uncomfortable.
Yeah. We were talking recently about the difficulty of finding good underwear. I think
You
this
and
should,
I have spoken about
not
this?
you and I. I was
Oh,
speaking to
you
somebody else recently about this.
Because you said we.
Yeah, I have other
You like
we's.
we in the royal we.
Yes. Me, myself, and I.
Me, myself, and I.
We
was where?
we are very excited. For we are about to become queen.
So we have been queen for 70 years, and now we're into things.
And we find it difficult to find good underwear.
Yes.
Because like you can have like the right shape, but it doesn't have the right dimensions, or it has, you know.
Yes.
And so was wearing a thong part of your looking for the style of underwear thing, or was it just
No, that
once
was,
in a
there
while?
there was the underwear that I got given by my then girlfriend.
Right? Yeah, and if you get it got given,
You got to wear it.
if you get it got given,
It paid off.
yeah, sure. It paid off.
One thing that shouldn't be sexy but is
Yes.
if you're doing someone else's washing
Yes.
and their underwear is in it
Oh,
and they have
interesting.
nice underwear,
Yes. Yeah.
or if you're doing your washing in a communal laundromat,
Yeah.
and you go down like the building that I used to live in the 8th district had a communal laundromat downstairs, right? And often you'd go down to do your laundry and someone else's laundry was still in the machine.
Right.
So you'd open them, take out their laundry, put it in their basket, which is there, and you're like, that's nice underwear.
Oh, look when, hello.
And you'd never see them. You know, they'd come down and get
Right,
their
right,
washing when
right.
when you already
But-
left.
but you would still think about
You have this
those-
intimate moment with their
Those
underwear.
rainbow striped booty shorts
Yeah,
that
exactly.
you were like, interesting. Yeah, I hear you. All right, that was a good insertion.
Yeah, good.
How you doing on your slurp?
I think we put it in all the way.
I think we did. I think we pulled out at just the right time.
Said the bishop to the prostitute.
Yep, pulled it out just in time. I say we do another one of these things.
Excellent. And we should get more drinks. So,
What do we want to insert in the sexy ear and eye holes of our listeners and watchers now, Michael?
surprising stuff.
What the hell does that mean?
Well-
You just surprised me with that.
I remember the first time I had a real girlfriend,
Right?
and I was having sex with my real girlfriend during the daytime.
Now, was she a real girlfriend and we just didn't know her because she went to a different school? She's from Canada, but she's a real girlfriend? No, it was a real girlfriend.
No, it was a real girlfriend.
Yeah.
I know the joke, but
Okay.
it just doesn't apply.
Yes.
And I was going down on her.
Do not apply.
I was going down on her,
Right.
and it was the first time I was up close with a real pussy.
Right.
I mean, I'd seen porn before that.
Right.
But I was up close
And
to
personal.
a real woman's
Right.
real pussy.
Right. Were you under a blanket.
No. It was daytime.
It was daytime.
Daytime.
On top of the
On top
covers.
of the bed, no covers. There was light. It was
Right.
everything was visible.
Everything was
right?
visible. Everything was seen.
And
On her back,
on her back.
knees up.
Yeah, and I'm going down. I'm licking her pussy, and I'm thinking, wow, this looks so real. I was just baffled by how much it looked exactly like the stuff that I'd seen in porn movies.
Oh God.
Right? It's the first time I'd seen a real living woman's pussy, real up close.
Right.
I was just fascinated by it. Wow, it really does look exactly like, what I've seen in, porn.
Right.
Yeah.
I hear you.
And I think I spent a lot of that, that time, afternoon, whatever, just going, wow. Wow.
That's what it. Oh, okay.
It really looks like it.
Right.
Wow.
It really. It really looks like it. My very first.
get my
Oh,
name
sorry. Yeah, I got all caught up in your story there.
Yeah, it's a good story.
Yeah, my first sexual experience was playing in a band. The band playing a gig at another school.
Right.
So it's not me. It's
Yeah.
I'm a bass
You're a
player in the
musician.
band. Yeah.
Yeah. And the women at the school don't know you. To them, you're just like
I'm just the bass
You're the
player in the
bass
band. Yeah.
right,
And
a musician.
Yeah.
A muso from out of town.
yeah. And there was a party and
Slurping.
And there was a party afterwards, and we're all at somebody's house. And there's, it's like, it was a big place and it was a big party. Like at least 80, people there.
Okay.
And so there was enough, like there was a house and there was outside, it was warm. And then I remember it was very late and I'm in it where it's sort of like,
Sounds like a rich kid's whose parents
definitely-
are out of town.
Exactly. It was definitely one of those things. But think of that, but like very rustic.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And we were in a barn in the hay, and like a whole bunch of kids curled up like cats,
Yeah.
There had been drinking. I wasn't a drinker at the time, but there had been drinking. And at some point, in the touchy-feeliness of the half dark and the late night, I started going down on this woman who,
She was okay with it.
she was very okay with it. And in the morning, everyone's waking up slowly and gathering stuff, and all of her friends, I never saw her again. But I met all of her friends who were just all super excited for her because it was her first time. And it was like...
And apparently you did a good job.
Apparently I did a good job, and she was just like, are you going to call her? And I was just like, I probably could not have picked. If she had been one of those girls, I wouldn't have known.
Right. You could only have known if you'd gone down on all of them again, and then like maybe picked out the one pussy that seemed
Had
familiar.
I been a player back then, I would have suggested it and gotten shot down just as though I hadn't suggested it.
Nice.
Yeah, but
So you went down on a woman who you didn't actually see. And it was just that's nice actually. That's nice.
Yeah.
Nice
It was
surprise.
for me. It was very anonymous, and it was also surprising. Like oh, okay,
I'm doing this now, and she's letting me.
This is happening.
Yeah.
And it was more. Yeah, it was.
Cool.
Yeah. That was how it went.
Nice.
There you go.
So Verena, welcome. We spoke about my wearing thongs.
Yes.
We will never speak of this again.
And there's a lot of talk about what's under the jackets. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, we're only wearing jackets and we're nude under our jackets.
Because underneath all of our clothes,
It doesn't appear so.
we're all naked. Right.
There's a
That was a good insertion.
there's a
What else? What else do you mean by surprising? This is your insertion here.
Well, I particularly wanted to remind myself of this one story.
I see.
That I was just so
So
I was so completely
surprised.
surprised of that. You know that yeah.
Yeah.
That the real life thing looked like the thing that I'd seen on TV or in magazines. You know.
Right. Right. There was another
But
time.
the first time I had sex was kind of surprising as well, because the woman I had sex with for the first time was much older than I was. And we were at a party. And it was kind of late, and she was like, just sleep here. And I was like, well, fine, yeah. And I was in a band with her brother.
Mm-hmm.
And so we get into this bed, and then we're naked, and next thing, she is inserting me into her,
Right.
and I'm like, what? Oh, okay.
This is happening. This is happening. This is DEFCON 5, people. This is happening. Yeah, I had a.
I felt like that turtle, you know, with their hands and legs. Like, what? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
I can't do anything.
Put me down again. Put me down again.
Okay, weirdly, a similar thing. I had a gig, and there was a party, and I am in a hot tub. I'm very young. It was after that first sexual experience, and then after that, nothing happened for years.
Sure.
No action.
Yeah. And
No action.
It really feels like years, and sometimes it is years.
There was just no action. And then I'm at this party for this gig, and it's late. We're in this hot tub, and the boss's wife is in the hot tub as well. And the bubbles go on.
Is she like a trophy wife, boss's wife type wife?
I mean, she was older. She was a much older woman than I at the time. She was probably, I mean, who the hell knows?
33.
I mean, yeah, you know, like, because everybody was, especially for me, I don't know if it's the same for everybody, but, you know, if you were 7 years older than me, you were impossibly older than me. Mm-hmm. You had years more experience than I.
Literally, yeah.
Well, literally, yeah, but I mean, it was just ungraspably far away. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And now, like, looking back, and I see, like, I look back and see how old people were, and I was like, wait a minute, they were how old back then?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Seriously? Mm-hmm. They were just so unattainable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, and she was a very attractive woman. But we're talking about the surprise. And sitting in the hot tub, the bubbles are on. Boss is doing stuff with the other guests. There are very few guests now. There's one other person in the hot tub with us, but they are busy doing something. Or maybe they're even talking to her. And I feel her grab my foot. Mm-hmm. And she starts kind of rubbing my foot. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. And then I kind of adjusted or whatever. And then, you know, we're kind of floating, and, you know, she kind of touches my leg. And then the boss decides to go to bed, and he's in bed, and we're still talking. And the bed is like 3 meters away, and the hot tub is out on the deck.
The hot tub is on the deck next to the master bedroom. Yeah.
Next to the master bedroom. And then she grabs my foot again and starts kind of rubbing my foot between her legs, like between her thighs. Mm-hmm. And then a super special sexy.
Nice.
There was a super special sexy insertion.
So definitely a lady who was into feet.
Definitely a lady who was into feet, especially my weird old feet. And it was just so surprising. It was so weird. And I actually at the moment I didn't know whether I was into it or not.
Yeah.
Because there was just
You also didn't know whether you were actually your foot was into it either.
it was because everything was warm and wet. It was a very weird situation.
Nice.
Yeah. And then at some point
Nice. That's like a scene for a movie, man.
right? And then at some point we got up and left, and then the next day
When she'd had enough of you,
Yeah.
she just dropped you.
Maybe he yelled and said, "Leave the boys alone, come to bed." I don't know. At that point, it was just sort of like, what is happening?
Yeah, you were having sex with your foot. Your foot.
My foot was being had sex with. I was literally objectified at that point. Although, I mean, maybe she was interested in me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice
super
surprise.
weird. That was a
nice surprise.
surprise. Yeah.
I think we can move on to the next one.
All right, let's move on to the next episode 69. Super special sexy insertion. Super special sexy insertion.
So I'm going to go for worst date, worst sexual experience.
Okay, I have had one.
Only one. You've not lived, young man, junior.
It's my superpower. I can turn every bad date situation around.
What life experience have you had if you've only had one bad date experience?
I can turn that bad sex.
Ooh-wee.
I can polish that into gold.
Right.
All right. What do you got?
So I go to this party. I'm in my teens, and the party kind of ends early. And I went there with a couple of cool friends of mine. And some of them had girlfriends.
Now, were they friends of yours, or were they dudes that you thought were cool? And
No, they were definitely friends of mine, right?
And what? But they were your cool friends, and you had other friends that were not as cool, right? What made them cool? They had girlfriends.
They had girlfriends. They had leather jackets. And they had cars.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Cool.
So this party kind of ends early, and everybody's like, well, my friends are like, well, we're going to go somewhere else. And then they kind of took a pic of the females at the party,
Okay.
and we're like, okay, these girls are coming with us, and we're leaving, right? And the party kind of folded, this house of cards folded behind us as we left the door, right?
Right.
And then I'm in this car, and we're in two different cars. And I'm in this car on the back seat with a woman I've never seen before, who has taken off her shoes and put her legs up on my lap. And we're driving somewhere, I don't know. And she's got a hand down my trousers, and she's taking off her top, and she's putting her boobs in my face. And I'm like, just like, okay, fine. What? I don't care.
Was this after your real girlfriend?
No. This is before.
No, okay, so this is before your real
this is way
girlfriend.
before, right?
Okay.
And I kind of kissed girls at that point. And
Had you had boobs in your face?
No.
Okay.
And up to that point, I'm like totally digging this.
Right.
The first time she kisses me,
Right.
she had this kissing style where she like stuck her tongue in my mouth,
Right.
and then kind of grabbed my tongue with her tongue and sucked it into her mouth, and then sucked it all the way down her throat.
So she was just sucking hard on your tongue.
On my tongue.
Right.
Which was excruciatingly painful.
Right.
I actually
and wouldn't let go.
And she wouldn't let go.
And you could feel like their bottom teeth on your tongue.
And I was completely... I had no idea how to react in the situation. So I continued kissing her until we arrived wherever we were going.
Right. You continued to allow her to suck your tongue into her mouth.
I continued to allow And I don't remember how the rest of the evening turned out.
How could you have boobs in your face if you had such tongue in your?
But it didn't happen at the same time.
I know.
I'm guessing that I don't remember the rest of the evening because I got completely drunk
Right.
and nothing else happened. But for this half-hour car ride from the party that folded to wherever else we were going
Right.
was an excruciatingly painful experience, although somewhat sexy because there was all that, there was those thighs and the boobs and she had her hand down my trousers and all this stuff. But the way she was sucking on my tongue was just so, it was not a turn on. And the next day I had muskelkater in the muscles of my tongue down my throat.
stretching. Oh God.
But like for a week, I couldn't talk properly because my tongue was like, oh. And every time I moved my tongue, it was so painful. Right? It's like, you know when you've been on a bicycle for the first time in 10 years, and you get up and it's like, oh God, that hurts. Oh God, that hurts. That's what talking was like for the week after this woman had sucked my tongue.
Ay. So, friends and neighbors, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between, feel free to hop up onto the chat and let us know what your worst date/sex experience was. At any point, all we can see right here now is that
they're very interested in our
they're
tuxes.
interested. Yeah. This is just the lining of the jacket.
Yeah.
Right
This
there.
is the lining of my jacket, actually.
The lining of this
what
jacket also has
the
black
white,
here.
The white stuff you can see here.
Yeah.
This
with gold
this
piping.
whiteness. This is actually the shirt that I'm wearing.
Yeah. That's not our pale bodies. Worst date/sex experience. I had one where I think I had known her from a thing and then ran into her at a place, and it was kind of a fun conversation, and then it was back to hers, and
How old are you at
there
this
was a
point?
vibe. I'm in my 20s.
Right.
And there's a vibe, and then it starts to get a little, the vibe's going a little further, and we're starting to do the thing. And it was just so, there was something so incredibly boring about it. There was something, it was just, nothing felt right. And at some point, I think I fell asleep. Not like after. I wasn't even close to, it was just like during. It was just kind of like,
You fell asleep during. You were having sex with her, and you fell asleep during sex.
I may have.
Wow.
And it was just, all I could remember was how incredibly
Wow.
neutral I felt about everything. It was just, everything suddenly became incredibly boring. But I was too far down the road, and I didn't.
You couldn't.
I
Pull pull the plug on it. Yeah. You'd kind of committed to going the whole way.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was kind of like pot committed, I guess, at that point.
Yeah.
Or it felt like I would be rude to give up.
Anyway, it would be rude to not.
Because she seemed to be still into it.
Yeah.
She was still into it. But I was just like, this is.
Yeah. I couldn't.
And
I could either way on this. Yeah.
absolutely.
Nice.
And
she remained into it.
And she was into it. She remained into it.
She was in denial, man.
Perhaps, or maybe she was just trying to make it work. I don't know.
Right.
But that was just the one where I was like, okay, it can also be like this. Because up until then, it had always been pretty awesome. I mean, seriously fun.
Nice. Yeah.
But that was kind of boring. I think also this is happening. We somehow, our thing got broken down. I want to do a quick little timeout here.
Okay. I checked.
Yeah.
I checked the YouTube, and this is still working.
Right, but the
The
hotspot.
the chat's died here.
Yeah, the
chat's
hotspot.
working here.
The hotspot is gone.
Oh, okay.
That's what's happening. And I'm on the Lichthof. This is all super technical stuff that nobody really cares about. Sorry about that. You know, you'd think after 69 super sexy episodes, we would have gotten this all together, but we haven't. Hopefully that's part of the charm. Anyway, Super 69 episode. There is going to be, at some point, some talk about what's happening next week. But not yet. No, not yet. Not yet. How are we doing over here? Okay.
It's not giving me. It's not doing it.
It's not doing it?
Not doing what I want it to do.
Okay. Let's do a new insertion.
We can do the we can do the chat here
Okay.
for the meantime. Jim's right arm. It's the inside of the tux, I guess, says Marcus. That's what I meant. Verena is, okay, not very familiar with tuxes. Monica, I could have fallen asleep once. Wasn't sure where the guy was, but it would have been more interesting to do my nails or read a book until it finished.
Yeah. Yeah, but I bet, Moko, it was like super fun up until that moment, right? Because like you don't go down that road.
But she let him finish.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
Brilliant.
Waiting for Columbo over here to get his shit together and get done. Because that's the thing.
I don't know why this won't give me a thing for you.
Well, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think
At least
I don't think
at
I've
least
ever
it's
had
working.
like a terrible date, or a bad sex experience. They've all
FOC's been there.
they've all been really, really good, and that was really the only one. There was maybe one other that wasn't fun, but for the most part, they were all good dates. I haven't had a
Well,
lot of
lucky
time.
you.
Yeah. What else happened? What was it? Another bad date that you had? A bad sex experience.
Top of my head right now, but
I had one
bad
sexual
sex experiences. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I had one sexual experience where the sexual experience was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually a great time. And it was like one of those where it didn't even go like all the way to full insertion, but it was super fun and hilarious. It was really a great night. And when I woke up in the morning and said goodbye, and I go to my place, and I realized I had a huge bruise on my dick. I had a contusion. I had a huge bruise on my dick. It didn't hurt. Nothing in the evening before had been done that would have caused
You
it.
shouldn't bite your dick or whack
There
it or
wasn't
anything.
any moment of like banging or biting. There wasn't any, nothing that would have produced this contusion.
Right.
But I woke up and it
Were you
was...
sober throughout?
Fairly sober. Yeah, fairly sober.
So, as far as I know, something that can happen is if you're having sex,
Yeah.
and you're being really you're going for it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you pull your dick out all the way,
Yes.
and then you try to stick it back in,
And you misalign, and
then
you
kind of
Stump it, kink it,
Yeah.
kink it, bop it, twist it, swerve
You
it,
can twist it,
twist it, bop it, kink it,
bend it.
bend it like Beckham.
I can do that.
I hear what you're saying. So it may have been
you
something
can
like that.
bruise yourself,
In any case, it was just a sex injury that came with no pain.
Sex injury.
There was a sex injury that came with no pain, but it
Nice.
did give me this really large
Mm-hmm.
discoloration with colors that just did not belong in nature. I mean, there was some greens and purples
nice.
and some dark browns in there, and it lasted for about 3 or 4 days, and then it was gone. but it was like, holy.
You're pretty lucky it disappeared so quickly.
I was, but it scared me, and
I'm sure
I
it
asked
did.
a couple of dudes friends
like-
about it. I was like, "Yo, did you ever get a bruise on your dick?" And everybody looked at me like, "What are you on about,
Yeah.
man? No, I've never had a bruise on my Johnson.
Yeah.
You ever get a strawberry on your John Thomas?"
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, so that happened.
Okay. Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I
like
so
it.
wish that this thing would work, but that's okay. So moving along, unless you want to tell us about another terrible thing, I think we should have a different insertion, and I think
Yeah,
we
let's
need
go
some
for
new
a new
slurpers. Yeah, let's have a slurp, people.
No, I'm having a real hard time giving you a hotspot right now.
Yeah,
Sorry about
I'm
that.
not sure what's going on there. I can't even see whether I think this camera is on me right now.
It is.
Okay, hey, how you guys doing? We're going to do the insertion. No, we're going to have a slurper and an insertion.
All right. Let's do both. We're making drinks first. Let's finish them first. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
So new insertion.
June is one of the sexiest months. So while I'm making drinks, Michael, I want you to name as many things / people that you found super hot or made you go when you were prepubescent, to like before you to like 10, 11, around that time, 8 to before puberty.
Yeah.
Like, what were the things that made you go, oh, I'm interested in that. That's going to be interesting, okay? And give me your drink first, though. And you've got this many seconds. Go.
I don't actually remember that much about that, but there was this girl in a class that I was in grade school called Bridget Duvenage, and she had the sexiest voice of any woman I've ever met. She was 7 or 8 years old at this point, and she had a voice like this. She had a voice like she'd been smoking 2 packs of cigarettes every day and drinking a quart of whiskey with them. I found that very, very enticing.
What about celebrities?
And celebrities. I had a real thing for Princess Diana.
Princess Diana, nice. What about, do you remember the TV show Buck Rogers in the 25th century?
Yes,
Do you
Erin Gray.
Erin Gray. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I think.
Did you see WKRP in Cincinnati?
Yes, Laurie Anderson.
No, I was a Bailey man. Bailey with the glasses and the long straight hair.
But I was not. I was not a Laurie Anderson fan.
Okay. Yes, but it was the show with Laurie
I don't
Anderson.
remember the other girl.
Okay. Bailey.
But okay, if we're talking about TV shows, MASH.
Were you a fan of Hot Lips? Or Klinger?
No, wait a minute. Is it MASH? Maybe I'm confusing them. Maybe I'm talking about Dana.
You're talking about Dana Delaney.
Dana Delaney.
I knew you were going to say it. That's so funny. As soon as you said maybe I'm not talking about MASH, I was like,
What's the show?
Oh,
Is it Saigon?
yeah, it was, no, it was China Beach.
China Beach.
It
But
was
she was
called
in
China
something
Beach.
else as well. And Dana
it was
Delaney
China-
just had that
Dana
thing.
Delaney.
Dana Delaney is like, ooh.
Okay.
And what is it about Dana Delaney that is so hot? Can you explain? I think my explanation is this. She's got that poise, and she's not out and out sexy in any way.
That's right.
She is kind of like the girl next door or your mom's friend.
She's like your mom's friend that got dressed up to come over and
She's
take.
like your mom's friend that got dressed up to come over and say hi, right? And she smells good and all those things, and her hair is perfect, and that's kind of what Dana Delaney is.
Right. What about Return of the Jedi, Princess Leia, slave costume, Princess Leia.
Yeah, I've never been much for what is that movie series called?
Star Wars.
Star Wars. Yeah, I've seen like 2 of them, and I didn't like them. And I don't remember the slave costume, Princess Leia thing.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, Vim Benders. Listen, what about... I don't know what Star Wars is.
I do,
I know you- I
but I don't care for it.
Yeah, I know.
Kevin Costner. Yeah, actually, I think Kevin Costner is sexy. Kevin Costner's
Well, like 80s Kevin Costner.
80s, definitely 80s.
Yeah,
Kevin
yeah,
Costner.
yeah. So,
that's
Monica,
a-
Rick Astley... After Rick Astley, I turned to Robert Smith. That's a really good
That's an
transformation.
about turn. That's like 180 turn.
Yeah, but before Robert Smith went goth, like in those, he was
before
really
they
punk.
went goth, yeah.
Before he went, before goth became a thing, before he did the hair thing, he was a good-looking dude. But even after that, everyone loved him, because he just was so sexy. I think that's another thing. It's like musicians. I mean, how could a guy like Rick Ocasek marry a woman
Yeah.
like Paulina Poroskova,
Yeah.
who, if we go into my
Yeah, she was. I
Teenage
didn't
years.
realize that she'd actually married Rick Ocasek.
Ocasek.
But Paulina Poroskova, obviously.
I had a poster of her
Kelly
on my wall.
LeBrock.
So I was talking to Philly Girl 1000 about the movie Weird Science,
Yes.
in which Kelly LeBrock was. Yeah. Risky Business, Tom Cruise Risky Business with Deborah De Mornay.
Yes. Oh, no, yeah, very nice. Yeah.
There was a series of movies, and I can't remember the actress's name. There were 2 actresses, I believe, that were in this. There were a series of like soft porn movies that would come on Cinemax late at night. And when I was a kid, we didn't have Cinemax, but late at night, if you could get the cable thing just in the right thing through the snow, you could sometimes see a boob, and that was pretty cool. And there was this series called Emmanuelle,
Yeah, I remember that.
and there was 2 actresses. Both of them, oh God.
Okay, I don't remember who the actresses were.
Yeah.
Kevin Costner,
Crystal.
actually, Verena, just to go back to that, I think Kevin Costner, for my personally, at his sexiest is that movie that Clint Eastwood directed, where Kevin Costner's the On the Run, the fugitive on the run. It's I think it's a '90s movie.
Well, there was, but that wasn't Costner, was it?
Yeah, it's a Clint
I thought it was
Eastwood directed
George-
movie with
I thought
Kevin
that was,
Costner.
I thought it was George. I thought it was Harrison Ford,
Oh, you mean On the Run?
not On the Run. Not Dr. Kildare. Jesus Christ, I have no idea.
Skinamax.
I'm going to pack it in for tonight. I need my sleep to face the 6th graders tomorrow morning. Hey, Pavlov's dog, have a good, sexy sleep then.
I wonder how
tonight.
many of your 6th graders think you're sexy, Pavlov.
When I was in 6th grade, there were 2 things that I thought were super sexy. No, it was 4th grade, 2 years before. The book by Judy Blume, Hello God, It's Me, Margaret, and the book Then Again, Maybe I Won't. Those 2 things I thought were the hottest. Those 2 books were fantastic.
I had a teacher
And-
called Fräulein Wunsch,
Yeah,
and I was married to her in my fantasies.
I bet you were. And also, there were in the back of magazines, there were advertisements for Fredericks of Hollywood that had like 60s line drawings of women in lingerie,
Ah.
like pencil drawings of women that they made me feel funny down there.
Right.
Okay.
Perfect World is the movie. Yeah, that's
Perfect
it.
World. So, Pavel Osok, thanks for joining us. Have a good night.
None of them think she's sexy. She says, "You think? That's what you think."
That's what
Teach.
you think.
That's what you think. Teach.
There was a wise person on the internet that once said, everybody's been masturbated to. Everybody has had someone masturbate to them at some point.
Nice.
But maybe we shouldn't be talking about her sixth graders in
No,
this
we
way.
shouldn't.
Okay. Pavlov's dog, enjoy the night. Have a good night. Skinamax. I made descramblers in school and sold them for $20. Yeah. The descramblers. Moko is also too many grasshoppers for. Oh no, she's just saying good night. Perfect World, says Verena. That's right. The Kevin Costner's movie. Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to
Another insertion.
Another insertion.
Let's insert it.
How about things that are supposed to be sexy but aren't?
Okay. Since we've had things that are not supposed to be sexy but are, we're going to go to things that are supposed to be sexy but aren't.
Okay, I have a great example of something that's supposed to be sexy but isn't.
Yes.
So, with a girlfriend, we went to this sex exhibition.
A sexhibition?
With like all the sex shops.
They get together,
it's a
like
touring
the sex messe.
It's a sex messe or something.
Yeah,
right?
the big,
It's
yeah.
a touring show. All the sex shops. You go there and they got dildos.
See the latest in dildos and butt plugs, and
right,
see the latest in whips and winches.
Exactly.
Yes.
And there was a live show.
Yeah.
And guys and dolls got up on the stage and did some sexy dancing, and there was a lot of photographers, kind of amateur photographers taking photographs. And then a guy came out and said, and now we're going to have the sexy super duper sex show for $20.
And you're like, all right,
And we're like, good. We're going
Let's
to have
check
this
it out.
sexy super
sexy sex show.
for $20.
$20, super
So we
sexy
pay our
sex show.
$20 and we go up in the room that they've got there set up. And
How many other people go up with you?
so the space would have probably fit 40, and I'm going to say there were 12 there.
Nothing happens in the champagne room.
So anyway, we're there and we're like, okay, fine, whatever. And then these two ladies come out,
Right.
and the first thing they come out, they come out, and the guy who's introducing them is like, yeah, wow, applause, and we're like, and everybody's sitting there going, it's kind of weird.
So he's emceeing the room as though it's 300 and it's 12 of you.
And we're like, well, they haven't done it. Everybody in the room's going, I haven't done anything yet.
Yeah.
Let's see them do something for it. And then, I mean, obviously kind of weird for them as well, I expect. So anyway, they kind of get undressed and they're doing this sexy show. Well, they're doing, let's say, they're doing the show with dildos.
Okay.
So they're doing this two-lady, girl-on-girl dildo insertion show.
Super sexy special
And
insertion.
it is the unsexiest thing that I've
Right.
ever seen.
Right.
They've got their legs up on each other's shoulders and they're greasing each other up, and they're inserting dildos, and they keep and the MC guy keeps coming in like when a dildo has been inserted all the way, the MC guy's coming in, with applause, and everybody's sitting there going
Like there are artistes doing like
they've
like doing one of those rope shows
been a
or like
feat.
silk. Yeah, like they've just done a triple axel on the trapeze.
Everybody's sitting there going, this is the unsexiest thing we've ever seen, and we don't actually, and we wish it was over.
Right.
This is the audience reaction.
Right.
And then, and I think there was things that had been guaranteed would be part of the show, like double vaginal dildo insertion was guaranteed to be part of the show.
Oh well, if you're guaranteeing double vaginal insertion.
At some point, one of the ladies was like, well, if they're not going to applaud, I'm not doing the double vaginal insertion. And we were like, but you haven't done the double, silently, obviously.
Right.
But the whole audience is going, if you don't do the double vaginal insertion, we're not going to applaud. We're not going to applaud pre-double vaginal insertion. We want to applaud post-double vaginal insertion, right? And it was just such a weird situation for everybody involved, in the audiences particularly, because we were like, you haven't done anything, so we're not enthusiastic about your show because your show up to this point has been crap, and we feel like we've been taken on a ride for our money.
That's amazing.
And the show was supposed to be like half an hour, and it was over after like 12 minutes.
Right.
And the two ladies, who were
very telling.
The two ladies who were doing the show were pissed off because the audience was not enthusiastic, and the audience was pissed off because they got taken for a ride for their $20, and the show was crap.
Yeah.
And everybody just left unsatisfied, right?
It's because so much of our lives get spent with promising potential. It's always, it's always the potential of something that is so attractive, and we get sold that.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it. I went one time to a peep show
Yeah.
with these two super hot ladies, and there was in the back of my mind, this pubescent dream of, like, I'm going to the peep show with these two hot ladies. Okay, what's going to happen?
It'll be a very confined space with them.
Yeah.
Through one of those little visors.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But we get to the place, we go in, and the dude behind the counter is on the PA system, and he sounds like an FM DJ, and he's like, and now we've gone from the racks and stacks of golden wax. It's Bad Schoolgirls 27 on sale back there in that section. And it's ladies' night tonight. We're going to have all 50% off for all the ladies out there. It was crazy. And then, and so then we work our way back to where the peep shows are. And we go into this one booth, and we put in our coins, and just classic, the thing goes up, and inside there's a round bed that's slowly revolving, and there's this woman on the bed, and she's got like a vibrator on the bed with her, but it's taken apart, and you've got, like, in my memory, it's like a rusty spring, and she's saying, oh no, and the acting is just terrible, right? She sounds like she's talking to some of her friends at coffee in the afternoon. Oh no, oh, what am I to do? There are no more batteries left in my vibrator. Oh, how I wish there was something I could do. Do you know how you could help me with my dildo? That kind of a thing. And it was so terrible. As this is happening, the thing's coming down again,
You
like
need to stick in more
and you have to
coins.
put in more coins, and we're all just kind of looking at each other, and it was that meeting of fantasy and reality, and the reality just like pecking in Easter time, just cracking the fantasy to shit, and then you realize, okay,
we're not sinking any more money into this.
we're not
shit
sinking
show.
any more money into this bullshit. We're in a cramped space with who knows how much DNA on the walls. It doesn't smell very good. There's no way anything sexy is going to happen here. Let's get the hell out.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a very similar experience to the live sex show.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that, and I'm gonna venture saying that is the durchschnittlich, the average. That is the average show that you're gonna get for your money if you go and see a peep show or a sex show or whatever, right? So if that is what you get on average, why the hell do these shows even exist? Why do they still exist? Why have
Because
why
they're
have all of
selling-
these things not gone out of business?
Because they're selling potential. And that's what I meant beforehand.
So you're saying the only people who go to these shows are first timers?
Not
Because
necessarily.
there's lots of businesses that
Well, then there's tons of people that get off on that. But as Moko said, the panting half-naked ladies wanting to persuade you to call or watch them. Now, I don't know if that is
right, on late night TV.
was one of the things that turned you on, or if this is pertaining to what we're talking about right now. It's
I
hard
think
to tell.
it's the things that are supposed to be sexy but aren't.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's what they're selling. They're
It's
selling
like
that.
hoof, mish, an.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, nope,
No.
no. Something else that is
Yes.
supposed to be sexy but isn't
Yes.
is makeup.
Oh, be careful what you say here, Michael.
Well,
Be careful what you say here. This is good. Okay. All right. What are you going to say?
so if you go on Instagram, for instance, or you follow influencers, there's these huge amounts of makeup that are supposed to go on the female face.
Yeah.
And as far as my personal taste is, there is nothing unsexier than someone's face that is covered in goo.
Yeah, I hear what you're
It's
saying.
meant to be sexy, but it just isn't.
I think what you're talking about, again, like feet, it's if it's not done well. And I think makeup is meant to be sexy, and I think makeup can be incredibly sexy. If it's not done well, then it can be a total turnoff. But I think even when you think of people without having makeup on, there's often makeup involved. and
I'm not saying makeup in general.
Right. You're saying
I'm talking about this the trend towards the
I hear you. Yeah. And I would put it to you that it's the poorly
paste on makeover.
I hear you. And I would just put it to you that it's the poorly applied makeup that is the turnoff.
I'm not so sure about that actually.
Okay.
I've seen women and men with well applied makeup, but it's just too much for my liking. I just don't like that amount of makeup. If I have the feeling if I touch their face, the makeup's going to rub off on me.
Right. And I put it to you that poorly applied makeup
ain't sexy.
allows you to see that. If it's not well applied, if it is well applied, you would never have that feeling.
Yeah, but if it's well applied, it's never that much.
That's where you got to be careful.
I've been very close to showgirls
Yeah, okay.
and show boys.
I think makeup is supposed to be sexy, and I think makeup is sexy. And especially if you feel sexy in your makeup, then you should do it.
I'm not dissing makeup in general.
Okay. Because it felt like you were saying something that's supposed to be
No,
sexy
I think
that isn't is
okay,
makeup.
So, yeah, all right. I guess it depends on how you apply the makeup.
Right.
And there's a kind of credo making the rounds that more is more. And
Yeah, okay. Something that's supposed to be sexy but isn't, tight clothes.
What?
Well-fitting clothes are sexy, but clothes that are too tight for you
Okay, so I got a thing.
are unsexy.
I got a thing.
What's your thing?
My thing is that
You like muffin tops? Are you into muffin tops? Do you remember muffin tops?
yeah, I do remember muffin tops. And so I
Are muffin tops still a thing?
I got a thing. Like there's things that are somehow sexy even though they're not.
Which is things that are not supposed to be sexy but are?
Maybe like muffin tops, or like I guess there's a way of wearing a muffin top that can actually be sexy.
Absolutely.
So.
But I probably digressed you from what you were trying to say.
So I have a.
What do you have? What do you have? What do you got?
Like often, I'll think to myself, okay, what's happening there right now?
Yes.
It ain't good, but I'm giving 10 out of 10 for trying.
Okay, so what you're saying is you think that the clothing choice or the fit isn't good, but you like the fact that they've chosen these things and they're working it.
Absolutely.
Right. I agree wholeheartedly. There's nothing less attractive than a scared person or something who isn't owning their shit. If
This
you
is it.
own your
Exactly.
shit, then it doesn't matter who you are, what your body shape is. If you're owning your shit, then you are going to be attractive.
Sometimes it's also not quite owning it, being a little bit self-aware about it.
That can be hot too. Yeah, sure.
But
Sure.
But trying, you know, pushing the envelope.
Well, it's like what we were
pushing
talking-
the envelope is sexy.
What we talked about last week about
Even
the
if-
hats. Hats. Because you're doing the thing. You're going for it. You're taking care of the thing. Because it becomes more than that. It's not about the thing. It's not about the actual aesthetic value of what's happening. Because the clothes could be too tight. And you could be a little embarrassed. You're not quite holding it. But it's what's behind it. It's the
It's the intention.
yeah.
I was in
I-
Venice
yes.
in 1998, I think, or 1999.
98 in Venice.
And we're walking around checking out stuff, and
girls.
There's a couple. They're Italian.
Yeah.
They're from somewhere else in
Yeah.
Italy, and she is wearing a leopard print leotard.
Yeah.
With-
Love it. With jeans. Where
No,
you could
no,
see
no,
the
no,
thing.
no,
Okay.
no. It's like
Wait,
it's
let me think about this.
Leopard print leotard and leopard print tights. That's
Okay,
what
so she's
wearing.
walking like a cat. She's does she have a tail?
No.
Okay. Ears?
No.
Do you find the
No,
tail and ears
nothing-
thing sexy?
No, I don't find the furry thing sexy at all. That whole
nothing about
cosplay
that?
thing doesn't turn me on.
Nothing
At
about
all.
costumes?
Nothing.
I mean, librarian costume? Sexy airline stewardess from the 60s costume?
It's not quite the same thing.
It's cosplay. Sexy witch? Sexy nun?
Nah.
Sexy mummy?
Nah.
Sexy Frankenstein?
Nah.
Sexy
I've had a nurse
sexy nurse?
without her nurse's costume on, and that was good.
Yeah. But what about sexy nurse as a costume, as a thing to turn on?
Well, it depends on the nurse. Actually, it's more about the nurse, less about
All
the
right,
costume.
sexy. What about sexy nun?
Religion isn't sexy.
Schoolgirl?
No.
Secretary?
It depends on the secretary.
Penguin?
Like you can't put anybody. You can't put a penguin in a secretary's costume and it's going to be sexy. It's not going to be sexy.
He just always avoids my questions.
I'm not avoiding the
You're
question.
so avoiding
It's
the
a bad question.
It is not a bad question in any way, shape,
Yeah,
or
okay,
form.
so someone who's attractive can be wearing.
Newsflash: if you're attractive, you can wear anything and still
I find
look
you
hot.
attractive,
Yeah.
You could be wearing the newspaper.
Yeah, great. Good. That's good info,
So
Michael.
it doesn't actually matter.
Awesome. Let's move on. Sexy insertions, people. Let's insert something sexily. Damn it.
That was sexy.
There we go. Just had to push it harder.
Push it hard enough.
Got to push it. You just got to push it harder. Okay. You know what we haven't done, and we need a bigger break right now. Here we go. Here's a word to our sponsors. A super sexy word to our sponsors. Well, that was a word to our sponsors, and we thank all and every one of you for being a sponsor. This is episode 69 of It Should Be About Something, and we have just run amok. It's craziness, and we're coming to the end. Oops. Even
Yes,
that out. coming to the
Andrew's
end of the
agreeing
road.
on the makeup, and Verena saying you're talking about excessive contouring and highlighting and over accentuating. Yes, and I guess I'm doing that. And Verena saying catcalling is definitely not sexy.
Catcalling is not sexy, but I don't know if anybody ever thought catcalling is supposed to be sexy. I think catcalling is always supposed to be about power and in a weird way violence. But you're absolutely right. Catcalling, how stupid. I would wager that most women get catcalled. And this is the weird thing. And maybe tell me if I'm wrong, but I would wager you get catcalled. You got catcalled more when you were like between the ages of 12 and 18, 12 and 20 than you ever did like between your 30s. You know what I mean? It's so weird.
Because the
Catcalling
people
is
who
so weird.
catcall don't have the guts to catcall
Exactly.
An adult woman.
Exactly, because an adult woman will, yell back, and very often younger women don't have that wherewithal to, or that power to know to say fuck
That's quite
you.
possible.
Anyway, we're coming to the end of our show, and but it's a super sexy special slurper. So let's have a last slurpers before the slurps. Well, this is going to be a tight slurp because...
Dang, there's a lot of vodka in that.
Yeah, there was one of those bad combinations of too much vodka and not enough mixer. However, check this out. Unfortunately, Michael and I haven't had a chance to be able to talk about next week. But next week... Help me out with these.
Next week we are at the screening of a show that we did.
That's right. We're going to the
gonna be
screening.
It's no Baz.
There's no Baz next week.
Yeah.
Because Michael and I wanted to have a Baz. No, I'm not even going to play the game. No Baz next week because Michael and I are going to see a private screening for the cast and crew of the movie Ratzennest, which we both feature in, and we're super excited.
Written, shot, and delivered in 8 weeks.
We're super excited about this experiment, and it's going to be really interesting. And the fellow that we've been working with, Johannes Grensfurt, is just a hero, and we love him, and he's fantastic. Have you heard any of those mixes? You gave some notes to some of the mixes. I know you did. Some of the mixes of the recordings that we did were fucking fantastic. But we will keep you informed as to when and where that's in festivals and things like that. So next week,
submitted, as far as I know, to some like North American.
Next week,
festivals.
no Baz because we're going to where we need to go and do that. The
week
week
after
that,
we have a Baz.
there is no Baz, Michael, and that's the thing.
The week after that, there's no Baz.
there's no Baz.
Oh, because you are out of town.
Because I'm going to Italy to
Again?
the beautiful. No, not well. Yeah, I guess
You're going to Italy again?
Again, yeah. But to the beautiful Tolfa, to the Tofama Festival, where I'm super excited to work with all of these wonderful performers there, and we're going to create a show that happens in a huge palazzo in Tofama, and it's gonna.
I don't care
Oh,
about
it's
the
going to be awesome.
I don't care. I really don't care. Nice.
And then the week after that.
That's when we're going to have a Baz.
Then we'll be back with the Baz. The
Number
Is Baz,
70.
Number 70.
Number 70.
So,
yeah.
we're going to see you on the ISBAZ HQ. If you know about the ISBAZ HQ, you know what to do. But if you don't know about the ISBAZ HQ, that is our funky Facebook group. And you can just head over to Facebook and type in
BAS.
HQ. And you'll find the ISBAZ HQ, and there's all kinds of wonderful, lovely people there.
Yeah.
And become a member and hang out and say hi. And if you're looking for any
Post your own
support or
shit.
you need anything, or if you just want to say hi, we'd love to have you there. There's all kinds of super friendly, supportive people. So that's the lookout. It looks like we're going to have 2 weeks off, and then we'll be back. But the ISBAZ HQ is the hotspot, and we're going to try to send some messages there and make those waits not be so
long
or boring.
So ending on a high note, weirdest places you ever had sex?
Weirdest places. Okay, I had sex in the swimming pool of the host family of a foreign exchange student. I've had sex in a lot of weird places.
Okay.
What else you got? You hit me with one.
I've had sex on the backseat of a car down a forest lane.
Oh, nice.
While hikers were walking past the car.
Nice. I had sex on the tower of the Charles Bridge in Prague. had sex on the.
Wasn't it cold and wet and hard?
It was hot
No pun intended.
and wet
And hard.
and hard. It was very
How
summery.
long is the Charles Bridge? Do you know?
I do not know. It's I don't know, maybe 200 meters.
It's 1,200 meters.
It's a kilometer?
It is the longest bridge. It is like the longest ancient bridge in Europe.
Really?
It's fucking amazingly long.
I did not know that it was that long.
It's incredible.
It's a wonderful bridge.
It doesn't look anywhere near as long as it is.
What's the name of the by the Hofburg, the museum, the Albertina.
Yeah.
And before they opened the Albertina as a museum again, you used to be able to go up. There's now like a cafe up there, and there was this overlook where you could look over at the. I had sex up there one time.
Really? At night?
At night.
Nice. Nice.
Train?
Yeah.
Airplane?
No.
Anything sexual in the airplane?
No.
Boat?
Yes.
Hotel?
Sure.
Bathtub?
Bathtub. Beach.
Lake? River?
Yeah.
Other modes of transportation? Van? Motorcycle?
Impossible.
Even if it's stationary? Not even worth it?
Uncomfortable. Not worth a try.
Yeah.
The grass verge is more comfortable.
Yeah, I hear you. Weirdest places. The overhang of a store, like where the store is in an overhang. You know what I mean? Like if you're on a street with stores, and then to go into the shop, there's a window, but then the door is just inside, and so you have this overhang.
Oh, I see. Like the entrance to a place of business.
The overhang of the entrance to a place.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No, I've not had sex there.
Okay.
I know of people who have had sex there who are not you. But okay.
Well,
yeah.
now you know that I have had it as well.
So it's like outdoor sex, basically. It's outdoor, almost public sex.
Well, it's definitely outdoor, and it's definitely public. What about?
I've had sex in the forest.
Yeah, cornfield.
Yeah.
Cornfield. And now we're just sitting around
I'm
thinking,
just thinking about places we've had sex.
because we can't edit this because it's all live, and it's all live every Thursday except for the next 2 Thursdays. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and neighbors, and
That was
everybody in
episode
between.
number
69, 69, 69, 69, 69, 69, 69, 69, 69, 69, 69, 69, 69.
Right, good.
Put that thing out of the way so we know what's happening. And we're so grateful that
Above the false ceiling of a Radio Shack.
Nice. Oh, that's a good one. Library.
Yep.
Church.
No.
Cemetery.
No.
Rooftop.
Yeah.
Cellar.
Yeah.
Bathroom.
It's not weird. Not really.
Public bathroom.
No, I perform terribly in public.
Yeah. I've never done the bathroom either. No, train maybe, but bathrooms are not. No, bathrooms are not. No, bathrooms are gross.
Bathrooms are super
No,
gross.
no, bathrooms are not my thing at all. Not into bathrooms. Although we do have a friend, Turan, who works on this wonderful project called the Glory Hole Sagas. And it's all like comedic things around glory holes in the gay scene. Very funny. Anyway, next week we're going to be back. We're not going to be back. And the week after that, we're not going to be back. Let's bring it back all together. That was episode 69. 69, 69, 69. And now we're back. Best is Baz ever.
Death.
Sexiest is Baz ever.
Death.
Sexiest is Baz ever. Can you say that for me?
Sexiest is Baz ever.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends and neighbors, and everybody in between.
We're out. That
Thank
was
you
it.
all very
we
much.
did it. We put it in all the way.
And we not only stuck it in, we pulled it out repeatedly.
Yes. We bruised it
Yeah.
on the way back in.
We took care of it at the beginning. We rode up the mountain. We saw the end. We came back down, and then we
We
climaxed.
waited for everybody to catch up.
And then we all climaxed together in the sexiest of
So,
all the episodes of Isbaz.
If you're feeling frustrated now, it ain't our fault.
If you need to keep on going because you want a second round while we catch our breath, go for it.
Yeah.
You know?
Buy your own batteries.
And let us know at the Isbaz HQ whether or not,
Which batteries are best?
yeah, you know, what do you need? Best Isbaz ever.
Best is best ever.
So-
and let's just go home now.
We're gonna go home.
Yeah, I'm gonna go home and jerk off. What's that line from Pulp Fiction? Just eat your food, chew with your mouth closed, go home, jerk off. It's Mr. Dance-A-Lot with Uma Thurman. He's picking her up.
I love that you just called him Mr. Dance-A-Lot.
'Cause I couldn't think of his name.
I know. That's awesome. Mr. Dance-A-Lot. All right. We're out. So, Michael, you remember, no matter what the subject,
Or what it was about.
even if you disagree,
You can always hug it out.
Always hug it out. So, if you need to hug it out with yourself, just do it.
Yeah, just do it.
And if you got somebody next to you, grab them and hug them.
Yeah. And,
Let's-
and if you're out of batteries, just use your hands. They work fine too.
Oh, yeah.
Electric toothbrushes. They're
Thank you all
rechargeable.
very much. Good night. Hug it out.
Definitely.
Hug it out.
Okay, we're out of here. Bye.
Something's weird. Something's frozen. Why is it frozen? I don't understand. It just has our hug frozen here. Why is our hug just frozen?
End the stream.
Yeah, something. Why did that fuck up? Post credit thingy. I don't understand. Why the.